Hey, it's Yelling at Robots, episode 10. Folks, we're in the doubles. We doubled up. Double Deej, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you know one thing? Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
One thing I realized actually is you're not supposed to say action until after you do the clapper. So that's, I always say action before.
Huh? Leave all this in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action!
Get ready. It's time for world famous Yelling at Robots, starring tech legends Joshua Raphael Reynolds and Ian Thelonious Fosbury. The show starts now.
Sweet. Oh, that was beautiful. That was some nice camera work, man.
It was good. I knew it would work well because you were like, you couldn't see what was happening. And then you came back and I'm like.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, you now have a cameraman credit here. So.
Amazing.
Yeah. Before we get started, Ian, I have a serious question for you. We're now in the double digits. This is essentially, we are young podcast adults, young creator adults. Is it time, do you think, and this is an honest question, is it time to have a guest?
Yes, 100%. I feel like it's we gotta mix it up. We gotta do that. I also got some other feedback this week.
Ooh,
you have like a 1 in 3 chance of guessing from who. But
was it Alexi?
Yeah,
was it
nailed
Ed?
it.
Yeah, okay.
No, you got out of the gates.
Folks, Yelling at Robots today, 0.02% more better, thanks to feedback. Feedback. This episode is sponsored by Feedback, the gift of giving your perspective to someone else so that maybe they can improve. Okay, up first, the slopification of the internet. We'll talk about 3 stories. One is on the leading edge of the slopification, which is Stripe and Cloudflare are partnering to unlock and allow agents to basically provision infrastructure and build the internet as they see fit. This is an article from InfoWorld. We'll talk about multiple articles and the collapse of GitHub. GitHub is completely falling down, and every response to the failure seems to make things worse. Ian has some personal experience on that. We'll go into detail there. And we'll come back, because we weren't able to get to it in our last few episodes, to Vercel's, the exploit that happened at Vercel through a chain of AI-related failures. And this was a very bad security exploit. And sort of these three stories are kind of interconnected and touching on what's going on with AI and the internet in different ways, and we'll see where that leads us.
Let us begin.
The red pills are kicking in. Cloudflare and Stripe, let's get busy.
Up first, the InfoWorld article, Are We Ready to Give AI Agents the Keys to the Cloud? Cloudflare thinks so. Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Before we get into it, and let's take a moment, actually. Ian, are you ready to give agents the keys to the cloud? Just fair question. No, you're not?
Absolutely not.
All right.
If it was in a self-contained box that wouldn't affect the internet and everyone's livelihood and like whatever, sure, cool experiment. But like, this is the internet that we all use. Yeah. And like Cloudflare is a very large part of that. Like any Cloudflare outage in the past 2 years is like, everybody takes the day off.
It's really a linchpin and a fundamental aspect of the internet. Cloudflare going down is the equivalent of, I don't know, all of AWS going down.
So for those of you who don't know, who are listening, if you're not familiar with Cloudflare, they started as a CDN, which is a content delivery network. So to explain this quickly, if you have a website or an application or something that is accessed through the internet, and you start to get some scale to it, and you start to get a lot of requests, you don't want those all going to the same 2 or 3 or 4 computers you have deployed, because you will get crushed. A lot of the requests are requesting the same over and over and over. They're not actually like updating data or doing anything like that. They're just asking for the same data over and over and over. So what you do is
It's taking
use
too
something-
long for my pornography to download. Why is this pornography
That's
taking
actually
so long? That's
the
just a
best use
picture.
case.
It's just a picture.
So what you do is you put a CDN in front of your actual system, and what a CDN does is it pushes and caches that data that gets requested over and over and over into all these other edge nodes on the internet. That is just like, so when I make a request to Josh's website for the same thing I've requested
For
before, it doesn't
pornography.
go all the way for porn. It doesn't go all the way to
You don't
Josh's
need to
website
specify.
anymore.
I'm just putting in color commentary. Don't worry. You can just keep going. Keep going.
It just comes back directly from the node that's closest to where I am, like geographically. And it speeds up websites at scale very, very quickly. And they've since added a lot of other features and other things that you can do with Cloudflare, but that's what they are and how they started. And as you can imagine, they're a very successful CDN, one of the most successful CDNs, if not the most successful. And so they serve a lot of the internet.
They do, and they've really they kind of went from there into a lot of services that, I don't know. I guess I would say like lubricate the internet. It's kind of the internet's lube. To keep going with our
Yeah, keeping it on theme here.
To keep it on theme, you can think of Cloudflare like the lube for the internet, right? It's making everything move smoothly. It's, well, maybe you can think of it like a lube and a prophylactic for the internet, right? It's protection. It actually does provide a lot of protection.
It does do,
services.
yeah.
Oh no, I mean, like probably one of Cloudflare's most critical services it provides is denial of service, attack prevention and reduction, and they're really good at it. And actually, I'm not sure that I've ever worked on a production system that didn't use Cloudflare for DDoS protection. Like it's so easy. You just throw it in front, set it and forget it.
But the denial of service is actually more important, what Josh is talking about. Sorry, I forget to mention that. That's really important.
The story itself, I mean, like, and you know, is basically providing the connections, the authorization, and the mechanisms for agents to do it all. Like basically, do every piece of putting something on the internet, essentially, which consists of provisioning infrastructure, buying domain names, like setting it up, deploying code, all paid for during the setup process through Stripe integrations. And so I think, did I actually read this article, or was this another one that I just was like, Ian, check this out?
Check it out.
Yeah, and they're like, you know, in terms of kind of like guardrails, I think was really just kind of like, well, each agent gets a budget. You know, it's like, don't go.
Yeah, like $100 a
$200.
month max. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, buddy? Like, what's going to happen? What do you think will happen? What, like,
if we've learned anything from like the stuff we've talked about, like of like, sure, again, agents and all the harnessing, it's improving and it's getting better, but like there's still a lot of slop out there, and like instead of like focusing on fixing the code slop, we're gonna add some provisioning infrastructure slop too.
Cloud slop.
And also too, like I'm not fully clear. Like I understand that Stripe projects, or whatever the hell it's called, is integrating with a lot of different things, and it's like this. It's basically like Claude code, but Stripe code, Stripe CLI. It's a similar. It's looking like a similar tool. But are they gonna also like? Are you also allowed to do like payment integrations? Like this is literally what we talked about with Bartine. Like that's one small business in the Netherlands, like maybe doing a POS. This is Stripe. Like they do all the payments on the internet.
Good luck, dipshits. That's my closing. If you're comfortable digging out a big pile of slop, buddy, you're gonna have a job for years. You know, you're gonna be just fine.
Uh-oh, that web of trust is actually a venomous spider web. Join the lads as they learn how Vercel just got bit.
So let's talk about this Vercel thing, because I'm slowly loading it back into my brain.
Sure.
Do you have it in your brain? Are you fully remembering what happened?
Well, no, the security breach was somebody gained access to Vercel's internal systems and was able to extract a massive quantity of secrets. We're talking NPM tokens, we're talking API tokens, tokens, and not the tokens that you spend, the tokens that cost you money when they are sold on the dark web.
Yes.
And I don't remember if there were kind of subsequent secondary attacks through like compromised NPM tokens that then they're publishing compromised packages. We should have a whole episode where we talk about supply chain, like what's happening with the supply chain right now, because it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
So the interesting details about this exploit were it was a single individual employee at a company, not Vercel, at a company that was integrated into Vercel. Vercel had an integration with this company. This company was called Context AI. But they've got their security like tight, bro. SOC 2 certified, bro. SOC 2 certified by Delve, bro.
And real quick for the people who don't know, what is SOC 2 and why would you want to be SOC 2 compliant?
Security standard. Baseline security controls are in place. You know, there's some, it's safe to have some assumption of competent security. Now, I've also been in the security business long enough to know, like, some assumption, like, hey, we all got in a room and we said the word security together. And we said, do we have a disaster recovery plan? Yeah. Is it written down? Yeah. Okay. Certified. Pa-bonk. Like, this is...
Right.
But, that's actually better. That is better than a huge majority of companies out there. And actually, it does lead to better outcomes. So, beside the point.
Sure.
But the important point here was that they were SOC 2 certified by a company called Delve. Delve,
we have talked about before.
We've talked about Delve. Delve is a disgraced startup that has been kicked out of Y Combinator. That is an AI SOC 2 certification company that lets AI get into your systems and SOC 2 certify you and lets AI check all your and certify it, and was essentially a total fraud. So there was no AI. They were just pulling in the documents and then saying that the AI had certified it and issuing certifications. And they will, I had like investigation ongoing, but the founders will probably serve jail time. This is really very fraudy,
big deal.
Fraudy McFrauderson. And it's so easy for me to see like in Y Combinator startup land, just like, again, the cycle of just like, well, hey, it's like move fast and break things. It's like fake it till you make it. Like, not with security certification, guys. That's when fake it till you make it stops. Okay, is when you're signing legal documents.
Yeah.
Fake it. Do not fake it till you make it, because you're only gonna make it, like, the only thing you'll be making is toilet moonshine in prison.
Yeah. Exactly.
So full circle. Context AI, SOC 2 certified. Yeah, our security is good. From Delve, a fraud. They were given, and I don't know what the integration was, but they had an OAuth. How even does the chain work?
It was a Context AI employee was infected with a Luma info stealer.
Long story short, they got phished by some application that sounded cool. To authenticate with it, this is, and by the way, think about when you use your Google account to sign into something, right? And Google says, hey, like this application is asking for permissions to your calendar and your email and your name. Is that cool? And here's where the trust comes in. And it's like, yeah, sure. And by the way, we're all completely conditioned to never question the trust and just be like, give me the thing, give me the goods. Their Google Workspace was absolutely horribly configured to even allow an untrusted rando application to ask for permissions to everything. And this guy, I don't know who this person was, who's just like, I mean, what was the application? Does it say what they were trying to install?
Doesn't quite say. It says that the attacker got access to Context AI's AWS environment eventually, and then...
I mean, so what this person did was just OAuth full full access into the entire context AI system, and
All
then
their
they were
stuff,
off to
yeah.
then they were off to the races, and I'm sure just like, crawling and trying to figure out where the edges are, doing good hacking stuff.
Yeah.
And because context AI is a service provided or embedded into Vercel, they were able to use that as an entry point into Vercel's systems.
Into Vercel's Google Workspace, and Vercel's bulletin describes the same event from its perspective, stating that the attacker used this access to take over the employee's Vercel Google Workspace account. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, good job, hackers.
Ian, what's your take on it?
It's all breaking. And it doesn't, I think some of this is driven by like letting AI do the wrong things and like not making good AI decisions and agents and yada, yada, yada. But some of it is just also driven by like bad leadership decisions and the same, we got to go faster than the other guy.
Yeah.
At any cost.
I do think that there is a thematic bet in the technology industry right now. And maybe it's always been there, but we've never been able to go so fast. That speed at all costs. Speed at any cost.
Yeah.
Speed to whatever.
I would say that, yeah.
Speed running.
Yeah.
To oblivion. Speed running to...
Speed run.
Speed running.
Speed run everything.
Speed run to the edge of the cliff. And then hope and pray that you can Wile E. Coyote your way. Wait, no, you can Roadrunner your way. But I got bad news.
I got bad news, Jack. You're the coyote. Coming up next, GitHub still f***ed.
So tell us about what's going on with GitHub.
I mean, it's been for a while. You've probably seen there's an image floating around the internet of GitHub's uptime that is just a big giant green line back in the day. And then there's an arrow that says, this is where Microsoft bought it. And it just starts to go like, and over the years, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't know how accurate that line actually is, but I will say this. Anecdotally, it feels right. It feels correct. And it also, like, I can't remember, at this point, I can't remember a month going by without a GitHub issue. For 2026, I can't remember a week going by. And in the last 2 weeks, it has been holy shit, man. And I don't know how much of this is driven by like AI stuff, but this is just the degradation of a company that used to be like the shining.
They were the shit. Oh my God.
What happened in the last 2 weeks was, one, they've had this new feature. I don't know how long it's been on, but somebody turned it on at work and we've started using it in a few repos. It's called a merge queue. And so that's basically like if you have a repo where there's a lot of people trying to like merge to trunk, like your main branch, there's a queue that you can just say like merge when ready to make sure that, okay, all the checks in the CI have passed, like all your tests have passed, all your linting's passed, and it's ready to go. It's rebased correctly, yada, yada, yada. So it's basically like it's not ready to merge yet because someone else is merging and all these other people are merging. There's conflicts. So you say like merge when ready, and it just puts it in this queue that will automatically merge it once GitHub system sees a moment to like, okay, it's your turn. Now you merge.
Mm-hmm. So it's handling automatically, or it's attempting to automatically handle also the sort of whatever conflict resolution or rebasing, whatever your policies are.
If it can, if it thinks it can.
Like main is good, I need to rebase or whatever the thing is, and then I'll trigger all of the safety checks, and if everything's good, in you go.
We're probably using it when we don't need to because we don't have that scale. Like we're not like Uber or like Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, but still, I mean, nothing wrong with like fire and forget, right?
Sure. The issue here is that GitHub is made on top of the Linux tool Git, and it literally broke Git. So as a developer, you have trust in Git and what Git promises you of like it's basically an event system of changes and version control over time. And what this merge thing started doing was merging off of the wrong place in the Git tree. And so you were losing commits on main and you had no idea that was happening.
I mean, it was basically like rewriting head and pointers so that those prior
it was
commits
pointing
were
to
just
the wrong place.
completely lost.
Basically reverting previously merged commits, and it was random. It wasn't. There was no.
In a non-deterministic.
There was no. There was no way to determine like how it was doing that. It was just completely random, which means that you had randomized erasures of code that had been previously deployed. And so unless you have like regression tests on your system, you might not even know about this for days.
Just one thing to throw on there. So basically, like the way Git works, if you're using it in a very simplistic way, it's very difficult to shoot yourself in the foot.
Yes.
But it also has the power that, it will give you like...
There's plenty of foot guns. That was the first like mind-blowing incident. There's been a couple since. The one that has been ongoing this week, which I don't know if they've fixed yet, is the pull request. I guess their pull request system is backed by Elasticsearch, and they had some kind of... there's a big warning at the top of all your pull request page that say some pull requests might be missing because of a search incident, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, no data has been lost. We are just trying to fix the API, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And so, but as a consequence, you can't merge any of the pull requests right now. So I had to merge like 3 different PRs the old-fashioned way this week, which is like on my CLI, like I will merge the branch into main, and I will push main, and GitHub will reconcile it. Like, this branch has been merged, which is how I used to do stuff on smaller teams.
How many people are manipulating and managing your repos? Like, how many people are you having to coordinate this?
Well, some of our repos, so the repo that I did that on is a repo that's been a small team and doesn't necessarily work the same way as the majority of our repos are standardized, and have like main locked, so you can't push to main, so you can't merge, you can't.
Cool. Well, you can turn that off if you need to.
Yeah, you can, but it's the one that I was working on. It works that way so that you can run npm run release, and it will properly release things and version the software and push a Docker image and yada yada yada. So anyways, the interesting thing about this, I think, is that it's gotten to the point now where you're seeing some pretty influential people. The number one that I saw was Mitchell Hashimoto, the CEO and founder of HashiCorp, and one of the biggest open source guys we've ever seen, one of the biggest GitHub lovers we've ever seen, has said that his new project, Ghosty, which is a wonderful terminal that I use, is leaving GitHub. And that's crazy. And when you start to see that sort of stuff happen, I don't know if this is a stoppable train at this point. So how's GitLab, buddy?
It works fine.
If you go to a lot of the status pages for what, it's a typical thing. I'm going to screen share and just show the good people who have never seen one of these, what a status page looks like.
This makes my
we're going to share it, buddy.
Harder, you son of a bitch.
It's going to be quick. Don't worry.
No, it's not the quickness. I guess I could. Okay, fine.
We can vibe it. We can vibe edit it. But this is what a status page look like. This is like a standard template that most of these things use. Yeah. Oh, and all systems are operational now. But actually, there's a better one.
Great.
There's the missing GitHub
but I'll tell you right
page.
now, like, hold on. Go back to
this. Is the real one that actually shows. So GitHub has like, someone has made a different GitHub status page that is more up to date than their actual GitHub. Like their official one. And this is the one where you can see like the last 90 days of uptime. Had you gone to this like 6 years ago,
so
this would be just solid green.
As a platform, as opposed to as individual
and it's
components.
Not anymore. Yeah, and I'll also say, like, if we go to Claude status page, Claude status, I mean,
wow,
not green.
Wow, Jesus.
Right? And this is what we're working with, man.
Yeah,
this is the internet.
Which, by the way, every one of those red lines you see, you will not get your money refunded. FYI.
Exactly.
Those tokens are gone. Dipshit. God, they're assholes. By the way, I'm still happy to take that interview. By the way, I will. If you're getting tired of being called an asshole, Claude Anthropic company, there's an easy way out.
There's an easy way out of this. Just hire Josh.
Buy me off.
He'll become your biggest evangelist. Oh,
Folks, let me tell you, it's not as easy as you think in there. You know, it's I've seen under the covers. I've spoken with mythos. Well, takeaways.
But yeah,
from this. Yeah.
the takeaways, I don't know, man. The industry at large. You remember a time when, and this is very difficult, and this goes back to what you were saying earlier about the 80% and the 20%. Mm-hmm. There's a well-known engineering ethos, if you will, that achieving 9 nines, which means like your uptime is 99 point. Am I going to do this? 99.9999999, which Google, I think some system at Google was the first to do it, is a monumental feat. But it was very sought after by a lot of these Silicon Valley companies and teams for a very long time. And a lot of these systems like GitHub used to have 9 nines. And now it's just like, well, we'll settle for 9.0 and some numbers after that. It's like I feel like people have just given up because in the name of speed, and we need to move fast. And I don't know, man. It sucks because I don't like when things are broken.
So 9 nines is too many, by the way. Like that's too many nines,
sure.
You guys. Like for my pacemaker, I want 9 nines. But like for for my pornography transaction to complete, I'm fine with like 4 nines. 4 nines is great. Like that means I'm only like 4 hours without pornography a year. So that's still pretty good. I definitely, in my next team meeting, I'm going to definitely frame all reliability and SRE conversations around pornography impact, for sure. It's a great way to make it accessible to the young people. Nines, it's not directly controllable. This is an outcome of the system. And the systems, and the system of systems, and the system of systems, many, many systems. And for something, but, and where it's like, I don't know, and it's interesting, and because like one of the things that people have been pointing to is, GitHub doesn't have a CEO. It actually doesn't have someone directly responsible for this. It has a CPO, it has a COO, it has people who are responsible for parts of it. But there's not actually one person who is like, that's on the hook, I guess. Yeah, it's a headless monster. That was, and there's a lot of questioning about the decision behind that. And I don't know, so that's one aspect of it, but it's like, and Microsoft, when GitHub was acquired, it stopped being my understanding is it stopped being kind of a product in and of itself, and it started becoming an acquisition strategy for Microsoft to engage with the developer community in a different way. And it may have lost its purpose then, or maybe that was driving factor. But what I'm getting at is like, it's hard to know why. Like we can point to a lot of things. And we can point to a lot of contributing factors of, I'm sure the load has gotten nuts. Definitely. But
the number of
AI,
users and
AI agents,
like number of repos and number of it is spiked beyond what they ever thought they would have to deal with. I bet. Sure, that's a charitable.
Would the numbers of crazy
have
have brought this down if there had been someone making hard decisions at the top?
Some adults in the room.
We're gonna okay. You know what? Some adults in the room. Yeah, we're not taking new signups. Sorry. Until we kind of understand or have a strategy around how to deal with all these repos being created and agents just doing things. We're not taking new signups, guys. You can make 10 repos. That's it. Whatever. Or I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's one example of one giant company where it's very visible right now.
Yeah.
The same decisions are being made at many other companies that support the internet, and the same crazy decisions about moving fast and giving the agents the keys to the world are happening at other companies, and this is all moving pretty quickly. And I don't know. It feels like the chaos feels like it's increasing week over week.
It is increasing, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And on that note, folks, that's another folks. Foz, you want to give us our signature tagline?
We're
It will get worse before it gets better. Definitely, 100%, and it will probably get much, much worse. And there will probably be a major subsystem of the internet that will completely collapse due to a loss of comprehension as a system and as an organization, due to too much automation, too much trust in systems, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So if I have one piece of advice for everyone who's kind of engaging and entering into this system, it is download the pornography on your computer now. That's it.
Because if you lose access to that...
Because if you lose access to that, like, what are you going to do all day? All right, folks, that's Yelling at Robots, episode 10. We're double digiting. That's a wrap.
You just survived another episode of Yelling at Robots. Better luck next time.